morning everyone, this is Dr.Avinash, Desouza, consultant psychiatrist, and I'm here today to speak to you all about love and relationships in a modern era. Over the years in my practice, in my clinical work, I have come across many couples who have visited me and very often come with their relationship issues. These are couples who are not necessarily married, these are young adults who are in love probably for the first time or the second time, and there are multiple psychological issues which these couples face. But I thought I will use this time today to discuss with you a few tips on how to get the most out of love and relationships in your life, because very often this is a confusing period. Being young adults, people may enter the wrong relationships, face trauma. Sometimes you're lucky if you get the right relationships, and very often there are decisions to be taken, there are things to be followed, and it's a confusing period because you may not necessarily ask parents or elders for help. You may want them not to know about the relationship. So a few tips which could probably guide you. Tip number one, it's very important that you know the person who you're dating or who you're meeting very well. Don't just judge somebody superficially by his looks or her looks or by their attitudes or their personalities. Try to get to know the actual person. Spend a little time with this person. Talk to him or her about various topics. Talk to him or her about various things in life. Judge the person's worldview, and then think of whether you want to take a friendship which has started to the next level in a relationship. It's also very important that you are able to converse with this person. In most relationships, very often relationships suffer because lack of conversations, lack of a sort of open-mindedness between two partners, and very often the two partners do not convey to each other what they want. So it's very important when you look at love and relationships that you're in a relationship with someone who you can speak to freely for long hours. Whenever you find someone who you can speak to for a long time and do not realize if time has passed, that is probably a person who will be a good friend to you. And it's important to be good friends first before getting into a relationship so that the relationship blossoms further. So always choose someone who you can converse with. Second point, never get worried about breakups and parting. Breakups and parting, losses and hurts are all a part of life. It will happen that you may have a few breakups. It will happen you will feel a bit sad. It will happen you will cry a bit. This is all a part of love and relationships. People come into our lives, people teach us a few things, leave us and go away. Sometimes you may feel hurt, sometimes you may feel dumped, sometimes you may feel, oh, life has come to an end, but that never is the case. Very often every relationship that we've been in teaches us something nice. It's important to maintain the positive memories, learn from that relationship, and not make mistakes in the future. It's also important that when you're going through a breakup and you feel that you're undergoing a period of depressed mood, sadness, or any other mental health issue and you want to seek help from a professional, please feel free to do so. Do not think, oh, I'm mad and I shouldn't seek help because people will think I'm mad. No, that's not the case. It's important that when you're going through a breakup and psychological turmoil, meet a professional who could probably guide you in a neutral manner rather than probably a friend, yes, who will tell you a comforting word but may not be able to sometimes guide you effectively from a professional standpoint. The third point that I want to make when it comes to love and relationships is always trust your partner. Very often I have seen young couples who are paranoid and suspicious about their partners. They do not give enough space to each other in the relationship. Whenever they see their partners with somebody else, they tend to think, oh, is he having an affair or is she having an affair? They don't tend to value the relationships that they share. And very often they do not think of relationships beyond love. It's important that when you're with your partner, you give him or her a lot of space to explore his or her world and meet his or her friends. Sometimes you may both have the same set of friends, sometimes you may both have different sets of friends. It's important that you intermingle between all of them so that all your doubts and your fears are put to rest, but you give yourself space to bloom and blossom within the relationship because apart from each other, you also have a world beyond that which you all need to work on. The fourth point that I want to give you is it's always important that parents and family members are aware of your relationship. I know a number of youth may not agree with what I say because their parents may not agree to their relationships. But it is important that elders or family members or somebody who you trust is aware of the relationship so that whenever you land up in any kind of problem or any kind of turmoil, you have somebody to turn to. It shouldn't happen that later you feel a sense of rejection by family members, parents, friends, etc. because they feel they were cheated or not informed by you of the relationship. Lastly, I also want to state that when it comes to love and relationships, please maintain a lot of stability. It's important that we stick to one person for some time before we decide whether to go ahead or not go ahead with this person. I have seen couples who've been in relationships for days, some for even hours, some for weeks, and then they find things are not working out. It's very important that we don't give up easily. Sometimes what is important in a relationship is not a couple that has similarities, but a couple who has a greater understanding of their differences. It is also important in relationships that we must recognize that each individual has a different personality, and it may not be possible for that individual to always be the person that we want him or her to be. It's important that we give each other space, bloom, love each other, give each other time so that the relationship can mature just like a flower takes time to bloom. We very often take impulsive decisions, impulsively get out of relationships, impulsively feel sad, and then later regret the same. It's important that we give a relationship ample enough of time, ample enough of opportunities before you decide to quit the same. All I want to tell you is it's not wrong to fall in love. One must fall in love because it's a very important emotion. We have received love from our parents, we've received love from our friends, and each of us may want to receive love from a partner, a girlfriend, or a boyfriend. There is no harm in that. But it is important that we understand how to handle love. Love must come into our lives positively and leave our lives positively. Love which leaves our lives leaving a negative impact is not going to help us. It's important that we be wise when it comes to love and relationships, and at the same time learn to love the world, learn to forgive, not forget, and learn from all that we've learned. Thank you.